guys, it's Rachel here, and wow, I mean wow, it has been a long time since I filmed a video, and no doubt you've noticed quite a few changes in maybe the way I look. I have lost some weight, about 15 pounds, and I have had a lot, and I mean a lot of changes happening in my life. For a little while I was kind of on the fence on whether I was gonna come back or not. I haven't really been active on Twitter, I haven't really been active on Instagram, YouTube, on either of my channels. I just haven't been active at all, and I wasn't really sure if I was gonna come back because, you know, you get that little thing in your head that says nobody wants you to come back, nobody cares that you're gone, nobody's checking on you, and that is, I mean, I know that's not even true. That's just my demons telling me that nobody cares about you. And so I had to reevaluate and really think about whether I wanted to make a comeback or not, and I finally made the decision that, yeah, I want to come back. I want to talk to you guys. I miss making videos. I don't miss the editing process, but I definitely miss making videos. And yeah, in terms of reading, I have done such little reading over the past 2.5 months. And it's not because I haven't wanted to read. It's just because I've had so much life going on that I just haven't had the time or really the desire. And I don't necessarily want to say that that's a problem. Like, there are times in my life when I want to read, and there's times in my life that I don't want to read, and right now is just one of those times that I don't really want to read. But today's video specifically is going to be just a quick book haul. These are some of the things that I've accumulated within the past probably 2 months, 2.5 months. It's not very big, it's not a large book haul. I'm just going to share with you guys the books that I currently have gotten, a couple of single trade issues of some comics that I've gotten, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first book that I got, 2 of these books were sent to me by publishers. The first one was sent to me, and I kind of lost my mind when it was sent to me. As many of you guys know, I am a massive, massive, massive Joe Hill fan. He is one of my favorite authors ever, one of my favorite horror authors ever. He's a fantastic author, and he is coming out with a new book, or he came out with a new book on May 16th called The Fireman, and I had requested an arc of it, and I was so sure I was not going to get this arc because it is like, you know, Joe Hill's like a big author. He's not like an author that, you know, you're just kind of finding out about. He's a big author, and he's got a big publisher. I mean, his dad's Stephen King. So when I emailed the publisher is William Moreau, which is an imprint of HarperCollins, and I've known that HarperCollins is kind of hard to get arcs from HarperCollins, so when I emailed them trying to see if I could get an arc of it, they were like, yeah, we'll send you a copy, but that was seriously like 4 months ago, so I wasn't sure. But then when it came in the mail, I kind of lost my mind. So the first book is an arc copy of The Fireman by Joe Hill. This is Joe Hill's latest work. Like I said, it came out on May 16th. I have read it, and I am planning on filming a full video review for it because it took me actually a little while to read it. It's 747 pages. This particular copy is 747 pages, but I think that the finished copy is 760 something pages, and you guys know that I have a tough time reading long books, so it took me a little while to read it. It is long, but I enjoyed it. What can I say about The Fireman? Fireman essentially follows the story of this plague that is happening, this plague that's happening to these people where they burn up. They burn up from the inside out. They turn to ash. They just essentially burn alive, and it is contagious, and all these people are burning, and it's kind of like talking about the separation, how they're trying to separate people. And there is one character, the fireman, who has somehow managed to learn to control his control the fire and wield the fire himself. And then it also follows a main character named Harper, and Harper is a nurse, and she contracts this spore, this plague, and she is pregnant, and she wants to take the baby to full term because she has heard, or she is told, that when you have the baby that it is not going to have this this plague, this disease. It sounds it's kind of vague, and even when I read the synopsis of it, I think that the synopsis and the actual storyline itself are 2 different things, because I well, you know what, I'll save it for my review. I'm gonna do a full review for this. I gave this like a 4 out of 5 stars, 3.75 out of 4 stars. This is probably my least favorite work by Joe Hill. I think it's really different from what he normally does. When I think of like Joe Hill, I think of like Nosferatu, I think of Heart-Shaped Box, I think of 20th Century's Ghost, where they're very gruesome, they're very bloody, they're very, the storyline's very horrific. And this one, although it's got a horrific storyline, like the premise of it and everything is a horrific storyline, it is not gruesome and the same caliber as some of his other work. So, and it's really long. It's really long. This is, I think it was maybe a little bit longer than it needed to be. I enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it if you are a Joe Hill fan, if you're a horror fan, if you're a fan of like pre-apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic, apocalyptic, if you're a fan of like plagues and diseases and stuff like that, I definitely recommend it. I enjoyed it, but I will be doing a full review of this when I have the chance. The next book was also sent to me by a publisher that I did. I also requested this book, and that's going to be Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. This was sent to me by Del Rey, so thank you so much, Del Rey. A finished copy was sent to me, and I was really surprised by it because initially I requested this on NetGalley, and then the eGalley did not work for me. It just kept saying that it wouldn't do it. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys have this problem with NetGalley, but sometimes you'll like request a book and the book, the eGalley just won't work. And apparently there's things that you can do to make it work, but it just wouldn't work for me. So I emailed them seeing if I can get an art copy of it, and they actually sent me a finished copy of it. And this book came out, when did this one come out? This book came out April 26th, and I have not finished this one yet because this is when a big thing in my life happened, so I didn't really pick anything up. But pretty much this is a sci-fi book. It's kind of told in like a not diary format, but like in the form of like interviews, and this follows a girl from a young age up into her adulthood, where when she's young she stumbles upon this giant hand. I believe it's a hand. At the beginning of the story, I think it's a giant hand in the middle of the woods, and they don't know where this hand comes from, and it's really interesting. This was blurred by Pierce Brown. I am about 40 pages into it, and it's really interesting. It's a lot of science. There's a lot of science in here, and I mean, I guess that's what you should expect out of science fiction, but this is very science heavy. It talks a lot about metals. Metals are a huge thing, especially in the first part of the book. There's a lot about metals, a lot about dirt, a lot of things like that, so just be aware of that if you are not interested in things like that. It's really good so far, and I really do hope to come back to it and post a full review for you guys. The next book hopefully is not a surprise to you guys, but that's definitely going to be The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the 4th and final book in the Raven cycle. I am currently almost done with the second book, which is The Dream Thieves, so I still have to read Blue Lily Lily Blue, and then I can get to The Raven King. I have gratefully not been spoiled for any of the events in the 3rd or the 4th book, so I'm really grateful for that. I love the Raven Kings. I've loved the Dream Thieves. They're fantastic. I really like this world. I think Maggie Stiefvater is a fantastic storyteller. It's very whimsical, very almost fairy tale-like when it comes to like what the story is about. Essentially, this follows two storylines. It follows a girl named Blue, and Blue comes from a family of clairvoyants, and she herself cannot tell the future. She is not a psychic, but she is an amplifier, so when she's around there's more energy involved, and she gets kind of wrapped up in the storyline with these 4 Raven boys that go to this school, Aglin B boys, I believe, and they are looking for this long lost Welsh king, and I love it so much. I don't know that I care so much about Blue as much as I care about the Raven boys, but I am super duper enjoying this series, and I really hope to finish up the Dream Thieves and get to Blue Lily Lily Blue, and then finally finish it off with the Raven King. The next book I picked up, and I don't think I would have picked it up if I hadn't met this person, but I did because she spoke so highly of it. So the next book I picked up is going to be The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This is Morgan Matson's newest book, and I picked this one up from Target because apparently it's got exclusive content in it. And I picked this up because of the beautiful and wonderful Maureen Keevy. She came down to Dallas to go to a wedding, and she happened to drive right through my city, literally. So we met up at Target, we got some Starbucks, we walked around, we did some books looking at, some clothes looking at, we talked, we had dinner. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed meeting Maureen. She is, you know, just as lovely in real life as she is in her channel. She's great. I don't know, I mean, there's not really much more I can say about it. She was so lovely to hang out with, and she loves Morgan Matson. She picked up another copy of The Unexpected Everything, and I went ahead and picked it up because she spoke so highly of it. I am not a massive fan of contemporary, but because Maureen was so adamant that it was so great, I went ahead and picked it up. I honestly don't know that I fully remember what the story is about, but I believe this follows a girl whose dad is a politician, something like that, and she lives a very structured life, and then I think something happens, and I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, but I'm not sure when I'll pick this up. In complete honesty, I have all of Morgan Matson's book, and I have not read any of them, but hopefully I'll pick this up at some point. I don't know. If anything, I can keep it for like a souvenir thing because, you know, I hung out with Maureen, so. And then last but not least, I picked up some single issues of some comics that I'm really happy about, and honestly, I'm actually missing 4 of them. I don't want to feel like getting them out, but if you guys are curious, I picked up the issue 31, 32, 33, and 34 of Saga, the newest issues of Saga, which are going to make up the 5th volume of Saga. Is it the 5th volume of Saga? The 6th volume of Saga, so I'm looking very forward to that. But I did pick up the issue 11, 12, 13, and 14 of Sex Criminals by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. These are like I said, this is going to comprise, I think I'm missing one, but it's going to comprise the 3rd trade of Sex Criminals. I am going to say though that I am not going to continue with Sex Criminals. I think that if you guys don't know what Sex Criminals is about, it follows 2 main characters, and essentially when they come to orgasm, they can stop time, and when they stop time, they decide they want to rob banks. And then the story kind of progresses from there in the following issues. I enjoyed the first one quite a bit. The second one was okay. But when I got to these issues, and I can't even show you one of the issues because there's the XXX cover, and it's something else, but when I got to these, I don't know that I know where they're going with the story, and maybe that's the point of it, but I just did not enjoy it anymore, especially the last one. I just think that the story it's not for me anymore. I do enjoy the graphicness of it. It's very adult. It's not for children. But I just think that it's trying to do too much, and I don't like the storyline anymore, so I'm actually not going to be continuing with it. I'm actually probably going to be getting rid of these, but yeah. Anyways, guys, those are all of the things that I picked up here recently. I don't have plans to buy any more books. I have a couple of books that I have pre-ordered, namely The Savage Song by V.E. Schwab, Victoria Schwab, obviously. But other than that, I'm not expecting any books anytime soon. But yeah, so I hope you guys are doing well. If you guys want to let me know down below any books that you guys have read lately, if you want to tell me what's going on in your life, that'd be fantastic. But other than that, guys, thanks so much for all your comments, and for all of you new subscribers. Like, literally, within the last week, I have gained like 45 subscribers, and I'm not really sure why, but hey, thanks for stopping by. Sorry I haven't been around, but other than that, guys, thanks so much for commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.